Hello, my dear Q1 students. Now I am here to discuss all the important questions that will come in your Q1 midterm exam. Now, for some of you, the midterm exam may be already over, but some of you are still about to give the midterm exam. So I am here to help you out with all the important questions and check if you have studied all the important questions from this all the chapters. I will discuss it chapter by chapter. So if you have studied them, tick them out. If you have not studied, go and study them. You have very less time, so don't waste your time before your midterm exam starts. Also, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We will bring more content for Q1 students as well. So now first chapter is units and measurement. Now this chapter is a little lengthy, but in terms of overall weightage maybe slightly low. 2-3 mark questions might come from this chapter, and there is a possibility of a 5-mark derivation. It is not uncommon, but not common, but it might come because in midterm exam some districts do give this question. This particular question, only one single 5-mark questions generally comes. There is a possibility, so prepare this particular derivation. So let's look into the questions one by one. What are the basic units? Give one example. Give any two limitations of dimensional method. Check the dimensional correctness of the equation x equals to v0t plus half at square, where the symbols having their usual meaning. Check the dimensional correctness of the equation t is equal to 2 pi root over L by g, where L is the length and L is the length of a simple pendulum, and t its time period, g is the gravitational acceleration. Derive the expression for period of simple pendulum which depends on its length and acceleration. So basically this derivation you have to do, right? This same derivation you have to do here, and it is common. If the college is setting your question, there is a high possibility that this question will come in district paper, may not be there, right? Now let's move on to the next chapter, motion in a straight line. Very important chapter. Draw position time graphs of a body moving with constant speed. Different types of position time graph, acceleration time graph, check them out. Okay, that one of the diagram based question will definitely come from this chapter. Maybe not exactly the same question, but diagram graph related question will definitely come. Draw a position time graph for a body moving in a positive direction with negative acceleration. These are the few examples. Mention 3 applications of velocity time graph. So this is also very common 3-mark question. Derive the expression s is equal to ut plus half at square. Sometimes it might come x equals to v naught t plus half at square. That is also fine, same derivation, but the you have to remember and practice the diagram as well as the derivation. You have to use velocity time graph for this derivation, which is very common, and this is also common. V square is equal to u square plus 2a, same velocity time graph related derivation. In fact, if you practice one of them, 50% of the derivations are common. Only last portion, one way you are getting s equal to ut plus half at square, and after the same common derivation you have to prove v square is equal to u square plus 2a, right? I hope you have practiced these questions. Now, motion in a plane, one of the longest chapter and very important chapter. Define scalar product of two vectors. Give an example for scalar product of the vector. Write expression for resultant of two concurrent vectors a and b and explain the terms. Very simple. Concurrent vector, if they are in the same direction, a plus b. If they are in the concurrent vector magnitude, the resultant value will be square root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, and the angle you have to show tan theta angle, tan phi angle also you have to mention, right? Because it's a concurrent means they are coming from the same, they are either coming from the same point or they are meeting at same point. So basically this is the concurrent vector. Write the expression for time of flight of a projectile motion and explain the terms. Very common. Explain the triangle method of vector addition. Rectangular method may also come, but parallelogram method, but triangular method is more common. Obtain the expression for time of flight of projectile motion. Obtain the expression for maximum height of a projectile motion. These are also common derivation. Show that the trajectory of a projectile is a parabola. Very common question. What is the centripetal acceleration? Derive the expression for centripetal acceleration. This question is particularly important for midterm. Don't prepare it in future, but in midterm exams some colleges can give this question. Next is Laws of motion, another long chapter. Mention any two advantages of friction. What is an impulsive force? Give example. Force on a current carrying, and this is wrong. Mention any types of friction. Show that the impulse of a force is equal to the change in its momentum of the body. 3 marker derivation, small derivation. Mention any 3 methods of reducing friction. Okay, it either be a way or 3 way based on the marks. If it is coming as a 2 mark question, they will say 2 methods. If it is coming as a 3 mark question, they will ask 3 methods. Okay. Now 5 mark derivation, Newton's second law. From the second law, prove F is equal to ma. Okay, that is very common. Arrive at the principle of conservation of linear momentum for the bodies colliding with moving along the same straight line. So this is basically conservation of momentum using Newton's laws. Obtain the expression for the maximum speed with which the vehicle can safely negotiate a curved banked road at an angle theta. So it is a curved and banked road, so be careful about it. Okay, not the simple one. Work energy power, relatively easy chapter. Under what conditions the work done by a force is maximum and minimum? State and prove work energy theorem for a constant force. Very important question. Derive the expression for gravitational potential energy. That is also sometimes might come. Show that the total mechanical energy for a freely falling body under gravity is constant. 3 positions you have to show. The body is falling, starting only potential energy, in between potential as well as kinetic energy, and at the last only kinetic energy. 3 positions has to be shown clearly. Okay. Derive the expression for the velocities of colliding particles after the collision of one-dimensional elastic collision. So this is also might come. This is the collision related question. Next is system of particles and rotational motion. Slightly tricky chapter. If you have prepared this chapter, check these questions out. If you have not prepared, you can skip this chapter, because in general the students find this chapter the most difficult one. Define angular momentum. Write the expression for it. Write the dimension and SI unit of angular momentum. State and explain the principle of conservation of angular momentum. Define moment of inertia of a particle. Write its SI unit. Mention 2 factors on which the moment of inertia of a rigid body depends. Write the relationship between angular momentum and moment of inertia. Prove that the torque equals to I alpha. Okay, show that the torque is equal to the rate of change of angular momentum of a particle. This is a 5-mark derivation. Now, this is the chapter. As I said, if you have prepared, you have to check whether you have prepared for these questions or not. If you have not prepared, you can skip this chapter for now. Next is gravitation. Some people have gravitation, some people do not have gravitation. But if you have gravitation, you have to check these questions. Define gravitational potential energy of a body. Give an expression for it. State and explain Newton's law of gravitation. What is escape speed? Give its value in the case of Earth. What is a satellite? Name the natural satellite of the Earth. State Kepler's laws of planetary motion. Derive the relationship between G and small g and capital G. That is also very, very important. 5-mark derivation. Derive the expression for acceleration due to gravity at a point above the surface of the Earth, or derive the expression for acceleration due to gravity at a point below the surface of the Earth. Both are common and might come if you have gravitation in your syllabus. Derive the expression for gravitational potential energy of a particle at a point of the due to the Earth. Now, short numericals will also come from this chapter. Now, if you want me to discuss some of the important questions in a single video, all the solutions, then please comment below. Based on your comments, I will decide whether I will have to make a video or not. If many of you comment on the comment section, then definitely I will make a long form video of this. Also, give it a thumbs up, and if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, definitely you have to subscribe for more and more good quality videos that will help you not only in your P1, in future P2, as well as in your competitive exam journey as well. Now, I'll be back with a new video. Till then, bye.